On tonight's show, Bobby Lashley bled and then bled again. AJ Styles advanced to take on Seth Pheasant Rollins at Night of Champions on May 27th in Saudi Arabia to crown the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. The secondary prize, because Roman Reigns is going to hold on to that WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship till at least WrestleMania. And they're like, we need a World Championship on Raw, so please, it's a secondary prize. We know it's ugly, but please, somebody try to make sense of this. Please, I don't care if it's Rollins, it's Styles. Please try to make sense of this. The title doesn't mean anything, but God bless them for trying. God bless them for trying and trying to get themselves out of the corner they booked themselves, wrote themselves into, but nevertheless, other things occurred as well to build to Night of Champions. Let's talk about it all. I'm John Wrighton with my review of WWE Smackdown from Knoxville, Tennessee, and fresh off of Smackdown and Backlash in Puerto Rico and building the Night of Champions. Right now, I do want to say that I'm not going to be off on that Saturday to watch it live and then review it right after. So the review will be up sometime Saturday night, Sunday morning, whatever. A couple other interesting developments in regards to the card in Saudi Arabia. One that I didn't expect. Edge in the ring already. Roman Reigns returns. I know he's on a part-time schedule, but at this point, it's getting ridiculous. Like, I know they're trying to build this up. This whole thing with Roman and Cody, it's not as good as they think it is. At least to me, it's not. Styles and Ray were already in the ring, so Edge, Styles, and Ray in a three-way match, and Edge is all happy and everything, and they had to rush these entrances because they only have 2 hours of doing 2 triple threats, and then the finals like they did on Raw, but they have an hour less of programming. This felt off. This felt like 5 steps off. I know that Edge had just come back after WrestleMania because he's on a part-time schedule as well. AJ, this is his first match back, at least on television, in quite a while because of his injury. And Ray, also probably still feeling the effects of, the really, really hot crowd in Puerto Rico and everything. And I imagine these guys might have been, even though that event was 6 days ago, still probably some rough travel, and these guys are older, but this just felt really off. There was a crossface spot by Edge, a Canadian wrestler / family man, doing the crossface, and he won the Royal Rumble from the #1 position. Beth, take the kids and run. Run far away. No, don't put the dogs in the enclosed pool area and leave the side door open on the garage. Yeah, Edge got pinned. Edge got pinned in a match. I'm sorry. Like, they did some spots that were okay, but this felt really off to me. Phenomenal forearm pins Edge. Edge is really... I'm not saying that he needs to win a championship. This just... His run the last few years, yes, the pandemic was part of it, but he's had some moments. Parts of this has felt pretty lackluster. Anyway, so yeah, Edge got pinned. AJ Styles advances, recaps of Mania, Smackdown, and Backlash, all the Bloodline stuff. Sheamus makes his entrance, and then we have Lashley, who's already in the ring with his pyro. And Theory, it's a second three-way. This is also the second strangest reverse Oreo I've seen on camera. You don't want to know about the first. Always delete your search history. I didn't care because I'm tired of Theory. I got a theory. According to Robert O'Neill, this guy stinks. It's a really funny guy. You should check that guy out. Lashley was bleeding badly after a step spot. That didn't stop him, though, because after a brogue kick, he threw Sheamus out. Lashley did and covered Theory. 1, 2, 3. Good. If this means that Theory will eventually lose the U.S. Championship and maybe get knocked further and further down the card into obscurity, I'm for it. Grayson Waller says, hey, how about I talk to you, Adam Pearce, and how about I have the Grayson Waller effect next week, interviewing either Styles or Lashley. Okay. I couldn't hear too much of what Grayson said because of his really, really loud shirt. But, I mean, you know what? At least they're trying to introduce Grayson Waller quickly. Grimes took on Corbin. Corbin got the jobber entrance, a.k.a. no TV entrance. He said, you're going to lose in 2 minutes. And then Corbin lost in 30 seconds of the cave-in. And then recaps of Cody and Bork. And then Roman makes his entrance at 5:54. We go to break. We come back. And all the bloodlines in the ring. And basically... I know what they're doing. I know what they're trying to do. I'm kind of done with this. I'm kind of done with it. It's just been spinning its wheels. It's not really a story that's nursed along at this point. They waited too long. It's not too hot, not too cold, not even just right. It's lukewarm. It's lukewarm at this point. There are people that are into it, and I'm not going to fault people for that. They'll have a payoff eventually, but will the payoff mean anything? Is anybody really going to care if Jey Uso faces off against Roman Reigns? I mean, maybe you should. I don't. he tries to put Solo against the Usos. The problem isn't Sammy and Kevin, it's your brothers. You disrespected the family. You need to apologize. Don't talk to him, just apologize. And you dedicated the match to me. I'm not even a tag team competitor anymore. I'm the greatest singles wrestler of all time. And Jay apologizes to save Jimmy. Give us one more shot. Okay, Heyman, make this announcement. Wise man, yes, my tribal chief is all groveling and everything. At Night of Champions, KO and Sammy against Solo and Roman. And I noted here, I thought KO and Sammy didn't want to go to Saudi. And there we go. That was a little bit confusing. No, shout out to WrestleOps on Twitter. And I'm sure there are other people to report it, but they were the first ones I saw, so I'll credit them. Apparently, the Syrian government and the Saudi government, more importantly, the Saudi government, making peace with the Syrian government after all that conflict over there. I guess they've made peace, so I guess Sammy's okay to go over there. I'd still provide him protection because that doesn't mean anything. But, hey, you know what? If they're comfortable going, they're going to get a payoff, and Sammy's just going to donate his payoff to the Sammy for Syria charity that he runs. Good for him. I just boiled that whole thing down into a little bit because I'm sorry, I'm kind of over this. And also, I think the Usos are going to cost Roman and Solo the match. Unless they pull a swerve and they have Sammy injured because he doesn't want to go, and they have Riddle replace Sammy due to injury, and then they still have the Usos screw them over. Kayla looked great, and then Damage Control. Bayley knocked Io for not getting the job done, and this will end with Io inadvertently costing him the next match. And then we have the LWO mocking the Usos. Santos saying, oh, your tribal chief doesn't love you anymore, basically. I'm sure he said it in Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish. Liv and Raquel then took on Damage Control with Io, so that's Bayley and Dakota, and then Io on the outside. Boy, Io looked great. Tag title match, and Liv selling like crazy. It was kind of funny. She sold this one elbow like she just been knocked loopy, like, where am I? And it was good. It was good. I'm not knocking Liv. It was just kind of funny. Raquel has all the grace of an inbred gazelle in the ring. This was okay, but it was rushed because I think that a couple things went on a little bit long. Io didn't help the way she should have, and Bayley got pinned by Liv. Liv topping Bayley. Aggressively, I might add. Not that I'd want to watch much behind closed doors with a can. Nope, let's not say that. We basically, the tag team champions retained, and oh, the Brawling Brutes are there. Don't worry, Sheamus, it's fine. Pretty Deadly show up. Yes, boy, fuck off, you goddamn weirdos. Pretty Deadly are the worst tag team in WWE. Worst. They're the worst tag team in the last 15 years. Hell, they're the worst tag team, yeah. And that's including some members of the fucking Nexus. Just Pretty Deadly. Really? I'm not against people having jobs, but they're terrible. God, they're terrible. And Bianca comes out to make her celebration. This is where they rush things because you got pyro, all these balloons. She's celebrating in Knoxville, where she's from. And then Asuka marches down with her cheeks all puffed up because she had the miss and didn't have time really to prepare it. And then shook Bianca's hand and then sprayed her in the face. Asuka giving it to Bianca in the face. You're welcome for that image. And then Bianca selling it like crazy. We go back and Bianca's still upset. Okay, heel Asuka going unhinged and destroying Bianca and beating her at Night of Champions. I'm for it. And I got nothing against Bianca, but where else do you go with her as champion? So, Smackdown rundown, and Lashley is already in the ring. Styles is too. They have a match where Lashley's cut opens back up, and Styles keeps having to fight back, targeting the leg, trying to break the bigger man down. I said bigger, Hulk no. Styles does get bopped around quite a bit. We get a near count out, then we get a post spot, and back and forth, and then eventually Phenomenal Forearm, 1, 2, 3, and AJ Styles advances to take on Seth Rollins at Night of Champions, and that's it. That's all I really have to say. It wasn't a bad episode of SmackDown. There was some good storyline progression, but it just seemed like some things were also off that kept it from being really good, at least to me. Agree, disagree what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.